Grandma is watching Rex right now.
Mm-hmm.
She
He's
took
at the
him
store.
to Smith's, right?
Yeah. And then she said she's going to go get chicken nuggets with him.
Nice. Chicken nuggets are the best.
Yeah.
Let's see. She's getting extension cords
Mm-hmm.
so that we can plug in. We got some big, huge inflatable Christmas decorations to put out front of our store. We got like an 11-foot tall Santa Claus and a 6-foot tall Christmas tree. Because, everybody knows that Santa Claus is taller than Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Common knowledge. All right. Welcome to the Cutler Cookie Co podcast. I'm Joe Cutler, and I'm here with my wonderful, beautiful wife, Jennah Cutler. We're both co-owners here at Cutler Cookie Co. And today we're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff, from family, workouts, business, who knows? We'll get into it. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Something that I really wanted to ask you about, Jennah.
Okay.
Get ready for this. I wanted to ask you about your powerlifting meet.
Oh.
Tell us about, you just did a powerlifting meet in October, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
tell us about that.
Yeah. So I just did a powerlifting meet in October, and that wasn't something that I think I ever had in mind until about like 2 years ago. But Joseph and I, we started taking like workout and taking care of our bodies more seriously about 5 years ago, right in 2020. And I think in 2021 we got a personal trainer to help us with lifting weights, and mostly we just wanted to know, like, do we have good form? Joseph wanted to learn how to deadlift.
Our only experience at that point working out was like cardio.
Yeah, we were doing beach body.
We did the beach body, the Sean T's, Insanity Max 30. Oh yeah, shout out Insanity.
Yeah.
And then we had like Planet Fitness memberships, the
Mhm.
Judgment Free Zone. We got the bagels in the morning and the pizza on Friday nights or whatever.
I'm glad that's where we first started experimenting with weights, because I think about my form then and it's awful.
Yeah. So that was like our only experience with
Mhm.
weightlifting. And at the time, we both were working here
Yeah.
at Cutler's.
We're working here a lot.
And when you work around delicious food all the time, it can be really easy. For me, at least, it was really easy to just kind of let myself go.
Yep. Sandwich
health-wise.
for lunch every day.
Sandwich for lunch,
Multiple
sandwich for
cookies.
dinner, sandwich for breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
a few cups of soup in between, and plenty of cookies.
Yeah. Lots of snacking.
Yeah. So, like you said, we kind of both thought, hey, let's like really zero in on our health.
And I think it was more you wanting to really learn how to do the form, and you were following some fitness influencers, and I was kind of just tagging along and like, okay, yeah, this is what you're doing, so this is what I'll do. And that made it easier for me to get into working out, because I never really did working out growing up. I mean, I'd like go on a run occasionally, but that was it. So we started doing that, and then we got a trainer, and Tanner Nelson in Kaysville, Nimbus Athletics. If you guys are interested, look him up.
Yeah, huge shout out
He's
to
awesome.
Tanner over at Nimbus Athletics. He's the owner and the trainer. His mom trains there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really cool. So we trained with them for a few years, and then I think in 2023, I guess, after a couple of years, he was like, hey, you guys are like pretty decent at this. You want to try out a powerlifting meet? And we were like, yeah, that sounds fun. So we started training and preparing for a powerlifting meet for January 2024. But then we didn't sign up in time. It filled up.
It filled up too fast.
we
We
missed the
missed the
spot.
deadline. Well, we didn't miss the deadline. It got too full.
Yeah, which also was a good thing, I think, because that same month we got pregnant with Rex, and I did not know how hard the first trimester would be. I was exhausted that month. It was rough. So we didn't do the powerlifting meet, and I did a different form of bodybuilding instead. We had Rex in 2024.
Literal bodybuilding. Yeah.
Yeah, but I worked out throughout my whole pregnancy, and Joe was really awesome and motivating for that. He started taking his diet seriously and cut a lot of weight during my pregnancy.
So there was a lot of motivation to that. Statistically, right, when a couple gets pregnant, both of them put on weight, and that's just how it goes. And for the men, like testosterone goes down a little bit during that period, and yeah, there's a lot of hormonal change just within the relationship, a lot of diet change that spreads across both couple, or both people within the couple. And so I think both of us, like it wasn't just me, but both of us were sort of motivated to like be the outlier for that statistic. So
yeah. Well, and we had like 3 years of gains that we worked really hard for,
and we didn't want to just
I'm not gonna let it just like die away.
Yeah.
So
and at that point, I actually was because we were prepping for that bodybuilding. Or not bodybuilding, powerlifting meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we missed the deadline. I kind of we were still both kind of prepping.
Kind of took a break through the first trimester.
But diet wise, we really took a break.
Mm-hmm.
We did do like a mock meet still at the gym. I don't think you pushed as hard for just at where we train.
Yeah. Well, I did hit new maxes.
You did hit new maxes.
Just barely, like
just
1
barely.
kilo over. So I was
which is really cool
exhausted.
That you did that during your pregnancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely didn't push as hard as you could have. And, maybe that's a good thing because you were also building a small child at the same time. And I kind of let the diet part of it go. I still was lifting really heavy and prepping, but I didn't keep up on the dieting aspect of it to meet weigh-ins or anything. And so I actually ended up at one of the heaviest points in my life. I was sitting pretty close to 240. I think I was like 238 on kind of the day when I decided like we gotta get on top of what we're eating.
Yeah.
And refocus ourselves on the diet.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to, like both of us, we just wanted to be really strong and really capable and look really good for our brand new baby when he was born. We wanted him to pop out and be like, whoa, my parents are superheroes. So that was kind of the motivation for me, at least. And I kind of dragged you along with me for that.
I think it was really good.
Forced you to eat healthier foods during.
Well, because we also decided that I decided, I mean, Joseph also helped, but it really came down to my decision to do an unmedicated birth. And my sister is a doula, and I was talking to her about that, and she has 5 kids. 4 of them were unmedicated, and she was just like, yeah, the best way to prepare for that is don't take it easy throughout your pregnancy, because the birth and the labor is not going to be easy. And so the best way to prepare for that is to not just lay around for your pregnancy. And so I took that to heart, and didn't take it easy during my pregnancy. I mean, I didn't go crazy. I definitely still listened to my body, but we worked out every day. And Joseph helped me and motivated me.
Sometimes maybe a little too much. I remember getting some glares out in our little like Facebook Marketplace garage gym.
Yeah.
But I remember like we were squatting, doing full on barbell squats.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like close to the end of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I remember like I would say things to Jennah like, do another rep, put more weight on. Like pushing a baby out is going to be so easy compared to this next set of squats. And she'd glare at me. But there is a really cool video now that you've posted on your TikTok.
I have, I squatted 185. I was
while
like
pregnant. That was like
35 weeks pregnant.
yeah.
Those have a big belly and
It's crazy.
yeah, so that was pretty cool.
And then I'm sure I was right?
Yeah.
Like pushing the baby out was like a
Oh, yeah.
cakewalk compared to
cake work. Yeah, it was nice, or not nice, but I mean, like, it was nice that he helped me out throughout my pregnancy. It definitely made the labor a lot easier. It helped it to go smooth. It was nice, short, 6-hour active labor, which is what I wanted. I didn't want longer than 10 hours, and I got 6, and I'm grateful for that. And I don't remember very much of what was said during labor, but I do remember at one point one of the nurses, I think it was like while I was pushing, she said, "Wow, she has really strong legs." And I was like,
that's what
"Oh, thank you."
that's what it helped her through.
Yep.
Yeah, she wouldn't have made it otherwise.
Yeah. But back to your original question. So yeah, so I stayed up with weightlifting throughout my pregnancy and took the 6 weeks easy postpartum. And I walked throughout that time, and then after 6 weeks got back into weightlifting, and I worked on I don't want like people to think like, oh wow, she just like pushed really hard. I definitely listened to my body throughout the whole process, but I also tried to get back to where I was as quick as I could. And so yeah, I set a goal to do a powerlifting meet by the end of this year, and worked up to that throughout the summer. And yeah, I did powerlifting meet in October.
Okay, and how did you perform?
I did good. I hit a PR for all of my lifts at the meet. My bench was 60 kilos. And then my squat, I think, was like 120 kilos.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
125.
I have it in the video.
I can't remember. I'll have to post it.
Good, Jennah. Good job. Good lift. Good lift. Oh. Go, 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 go! Yeah! Good.
And then my deadlift, I think, was close to 130 kilos.
She's
I
pretty
could
strong.
be wrong.
What did you place?
I placed first in my division for my weight class.
First place on 60 kilos over tested, Jennah Cutler.
Yeah. Oh,
Should we smile? Cheese. And so, yeah, it was
awesome.
fun. It was exciting. I enjoyed it a lot, and now I'm preparing to do another one in March and see if I can push myself harder.
that's so cool.
So yeah, that's what I do now. Thanks to Joseph 5 years ago, and
all
me
thanks
just
to
tagging
me.
along.
No, Jennah's like a superhero. So, okay. So powerlifting, but then you also are a co-owner here at Cutler Cookie Co.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had a big interest in food, I think, for a lot of your life, at least
Yeah.
as long as I've known you. Because like we met in high school. We took a ballroom dance class together. It's very cute.
When we were 16.
Mm-hmm. But you started going out to Davis Tech College. It was Davis Applied Technology College at the time, but now it's just Davis Tech College. And you did the culinary arts class. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like what you said, I've always really enjoyed food throughout my whole life. I grew up in a family of amazing cooks. My mom's a great cook. My dad, he's amazing when it comes to smoking meat. And
He makes like the best brisket
he makes really good
I've
brisket.
ever had. I dream about it regularly. It's so good.
Yeah. And both of my grandmas are amazing cooks. One of my grandmas, she majored in home ec. And yeah, so just lots of amazing food my whole life. So When it came time when I was 18 and trying to decide what to go do for college, I didn't really know at the time, but I was like, you know what? I really enjoy food, and culinary art sounds really fun to like go and learn how to make food some more. And so, yeah, Davis Tech has a really awesome program, and I think it's like a year long. And so, yeah, I signed up for that and did it for a year from when I was 18 to 19, and I graduated, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I don't have a lot of like, people ask me questions about like pastries and stuff. They're like, oh, how do you make this puff pastry turn out like that? And I'm like, sorry, I don't have that in my head anymore, but I can look it up. But I know how to follow a recipe.
I can Google it just as easy as you can.
Yeah. But it helped a lot with just learning the industry and learning a lot how to work in a kitchen. It helped me with familiarity of like working with tools and different equipment, which at the time I didn't think would be beneficial to me, because I was like, I just wanted to, people would ask me like, oh, are you going to be a chef or you can own a restaurant? I'd be like, no, I just like cooking, and this is a year program, so I'm just doing this.
Yeah. Did you ever, like when you started the program, during the program, did you ever envision yourself like being a restaurant owner?
No, I thought sometimes like maybe I'll own like a cute little home bakery and make cakes, but I never thought I would be a restaurant owner or really a business owner.
You have an aunt who does cakes,
yeah,
like on a amateur professional level.
Yeah,
like she makes them at home, but she does like wedding cakes and events and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you have to know her. She has like, does she have an Instagram page for that specifically?
Yeah, sometimes she pushes it more than others. Sometimes
just kind of when she has time. But they're incredible.
She's really good.
She made the cake for our wedding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that was like the most I thought that I would ever do, because I never thought I'd be a business owner.
So do you feel like, as the business owner, how much of that experience from culinary school were you able to bring over to the actual running of the business, whether it's the food aspect or the employee management aspect? Like, what do you feel like it helped?
Yeah, I'm really grateful that I did it. It helped a lot, I think, with my confidence in joining this family business. Because, I'm coming to this family where you guys have been doing it your whole life, and you guys already know the restaurant industry, and your dad knows the industry pretty well. And so, yeah, that helped me to feel like, yeah, I know what you guys are talking about, helped me to feel a little bit more confident, like I fit in. So I'm grateful that I did that. And it helped me, not so much with employee management, that's different, but it helped me to know like systems. And I worked in a bunch of kitchens under different chefs and just like different managing styles that I liked, and worked with different like systems that they had for prep. I worked in a lot of prep kitchens, and I made a lot of soups. And that is something that I was really good at. And I made a lot of sandwiches too. I worked at the Vivint Arena, or the Delta Center, I think is what it's called now.
Yeah, was it Vivint or Delta at the time you were working
there? It was
there?
Vivint when I worked there. It was Vivint,
but now it's back to
it's
being
Delta
Center, huh?
Yeah, the Jazz Arena.
Yeah.
But I made sandwiches for them. I'd make like hundreds or up to 1,000 sandwiches a day.
For like the box suites and stuff.
Yeah. And so that was helpful experience too, coming into the sandwich business. Like, oh yeah, I know how to make sandwiches.
Well, and that's another area where you have placed or achieved first place, right? Because since you revamped a lot of the soups and introduced some soups here at Cutler Cookie Co., it was within like, I don't know, the first 2 years that you had gone through and like, hey, let's make a lasagna soup. Let's make a creamy chicken gnocchi soup. Just like some really stellar soups, fully homemade from scratch in the back of the kitchen there. And we ended up in the local newspaper. They did like a little special article on local restaurants and where you should eat. And we were voted number one for best soups in Davis County. And then they had a subcategory for like best soup sandwiches. And I think we had that number one spot as well.
Yeah.
So
And we were in the top 3 for cookies as well.
yeah, top 3 for cookies. So, you know, it's a pretty big deal. So first place powerlifter and first place soup maker.
Yeah. But yeah, so the culinary arts, that also helped with where we wanted better soups, because we were ordering soups from one of our vendors, and then they changed the recipe because they changed ownership or something, and we weren't happy with the soups anymore. And I was like, hey, this is something that I know how to do. And so I think I took a week or 2 and figure out the recipes with Joseph's help. He was a great taste tester and helped me, like, oh, it needs a little bit more salt or a little bit more pepper.
I think the
Stuff like
the
add lots of
lasagna
cheese.
soup in particular, a lot of because we were previously ordering a lasagna soup, and there's been a lot of discussion, I think even just recently online, about restaurant food not tasting as good as it used to, and why do all restaurants taste the same? And people are slowly finding out, or maybe quickly finding out these days, that a lot of restaurants order from Cisco, Nicholas, and U.S. Foods are kind of the top 3 food vendors in the United States. And admittedly, we do order from those guys. You know, we get a lot of our avocados, we get our onions, and we used to get some of their pre-made soups, and basically they would come in a frozen bag. Typically, they have a few options.
Some of them you add milk.
Some of them you add milk. Some of them you add water. But it seemed like the most common was a frozen bag of pre-made soup, and you take the bag and you set it in a pot of boiling water, and you just heat the bag up, and then once the bag is heated, the soup's ready. You cut the corner of the bag and you pour that into like a cook and hold, or like a soup warmer, and it's ready to serve out of the bag as soon as you heat it up. And we had a couple soups that were phenomenal that they were making. I don't remember what the company was.
It's like Soup Supreme.
Soup
or
Supreme,
something like that.
And they had an awesome chicken with wild rice that was so good. And they had a lasagna soup that was so good.
Yeah.
But then Soup Supreme, I think it was Soup Supreme, they like went out of business, or they sold or something. They got absorbed by another thing. I'm not positive. All I know is we were no longer able to get the lasagna soup or the chicken with wild rice. And personally, those were like 2 of my favorites. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we tried some other options in the pre-made category, and they just weren't awesome. And we thought, if Gordon Ramsay...
Yeah, we were watching Kitchen Nightmares at the time.
We were watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, and we were watching a lot of Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri, Guy Ferrari. I don't know how to say his name, but hey, Guy Ferrari, if you ever want to come visit, we're ready for you. Our stuff is homemade now.
Yeah, because we were like, if one of them stopped by, like, we don't want them coming in the back and seeing us open frozen soups.
Yeah.
We want them to see us making everything from scratch.
Yeah, and we did make a lot from scratch, but there were just a few select soups that was like, this tastes incredible, and it's already pre-made, and it fits our
sandwiches and cookies
costs.
have always been from scratch. But
so when those soups were no longer available, that's when we were like, okay, let's revamp the entire soup menu minus a couple of the staples that like Grandma and Grandpa Cutler came up with. We've still
and those were homemade soups too.
And those were the homemade
we
ones.
Kept those recipes the same.
We've still got like the cheesy potato is that original recipe. The chili is Grandpa Cutler's original recipe. But then we kind of tweaked or revamped all the other ones with Jennah's culinary arts specialty. And I guess I started talking about the lasagna, and then I got way derailed going down this soup thing.
Lasagna is good.
But the lasagna, when we were looking, when we were looking for recipes online, most of them were having it like
they're like watery,
like a broth-based lasagna soup, like minestrone almost is kind of the result that we were ending up with. And I maybe I'm wrong, but my recollection is that I kept telling Jennah, like, no, this needs to be like soupy lasagna, not like minestrone, not a broth base. Like it needs to be like lasagna with extra cheese and extra sauce. And so that's like basically what Jennah put together. She's like, okay, well, I'll just buy these. Obviously we didn't want to use like, the actual lasagna. What are those even called? The big long lasagna flat noodles. Lasagna noodles.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be soupified. So
Yeah.
we use, what are the noodles we use now?
Campanelle.
Campanelle. So we use Campanelle noodles and then just a lot of sauce,
A lot of
a
sauce.
lot of lasagna sauce,
and cheese. And
tons of
sausage.
cheese, and Jimmy Dean sausage,
Mhm.
the best tasting sausage. You know, we don't compromise when it comes to sausage. We get the Jimmy Dean.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you come in and try the lasagna soup, it really is. It's like lasagna with extra cheese and extra sauce.
Yeah. That
Just
one's
a
good.
cup of lasagna.
Yeah.
It's so good. Anyway,
So yeah, the culinary arts came in handy for that. So now all of our soups are 100% homemade from scratch.
I think it was also very helpful because, you know, I've worked here at Cutler Cookie Co. for basically my entire working life to some extent. You know, my parents being involved in the business, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. I worked here all through high school. And one thing I think that we struggled with for a really long time here was a lack of systemization. Like there were only a few people, like my aunt and uncle knew how to make the cheesy potato soup, but the recipe I think was written on like a tiny recipe card and it was kind of just hidden in the office and they would just make it and no one else really knew how. But that guaranteed that it would turn out the same every time and taste really good every time because they were the pros.
Person.
It was the same person making it every single time. But when Jennah came in and she was like, you know, we're trying to figure out how do we make these things, she really helped us realize with that prep kitchen background and with the culinary arts background, she's like, we got to get better recipe cards and we got to write it down dumb enough. We got to dumb it down so that someone like me, I can just open a binder or, you know, go to a Google slide or something and be able to make lasagna soup from start to finish with very minimal knowledge because we do hire a lot of people like me. We hire a lot of high schoolers, people that this is their very first job and they have no other experience. They've never made soup in their life. We get employees sometimes that come and work for us. We ask them to wash dishes and they'll wash all the dishes and then they'll have like, you know, like a container for holding things. They'll wash it and then they'll set the container upright on the shelf, like still full of water. And I'll be like, hey, how's that going to dry if you set it like that? And they're like, oh, I don't know. The water will evaporate, right? It's like, no, you got to turn it upside down so that the water can run out of it.
Yeah.
You know, this is their first time washing dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to create recipes that were simple enough or write the recipes out simple enough for anyone, you know, with a little bit of training. We don't just let any new person make the soup.
I try my best to like personally train or assign people that I trust to train the new soup makers, but they all do a good job. And it's fun because we have some that come in and they're like really awesome employees. And so I'm like, hey, you're doing a really good job. Do you want to make soup for us? And they're always really excited. And some of them I don't realize until after or while I'm training them that they're like, oh yeah, I actually don't know how to cook. I don't cook at home. And then they learn how to soup. And then afterwards they're like, oh, this is so fun. I can make soup now. And then sometimes they'll tell me like, oh yeah, we had a family party and I made some soup for them. And that's fun.
So cool. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's got a special position title too. If you become one of the soup makers, you do have to have, you know, a little bit of tenure here, be a little bit more responsible an employee to be trusted with our, you know, #1 prized soups in Davis County.
Yeah.
And once they achieve that level, they achieve the position of super chef. They become a super chef.
Yeah.
I think we've got like 4 or 5 super chefs that work for us now. It's very fun.
Yeah.
And
they all do a great job.
And some of them have even helped adjust some of the recipes to make them better as they've been making them. They've come to me or to Jennah and said, hey, what if we tried it this way? I think we could get it done faster. Or they'll say, what if we added this? I think it could taste a little better. Sometimes it's really dumb. And we just say, okay, yeah. But we do listen.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really good and it ends up being way better.
Yeah. Like I think your brother Kip helped with the clam chowder recipe.
Yeah.
And so that was fun. It's fun to involve employees in these things. It helps they like feel proud
Yeah, well, and they should.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all of a sudden it's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. It's a fun business.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Very rewarding.
Yeah. But I think that's something that neither of us quite realized, and I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, is just like, you know, you really enjoy making soup. You go to culinary arts school to learn how to make things, and then you start running a business and you realize like you don't get to do, or all of a sudden
very often.
Yeah, or if you do, you know, all of a sudden it's like it kind of sucks the joy out of it a little bit, because now like you have to do that in order to keep the business alive. And kind of what I was getting at before is Jennah was very helpful with her prep kitchen experience, just helping us get those systems so that, you know, we can make soup when we want to make soup and enjoy the fun of making it. Instead of like, oh, I made soup yesterday, I'm making soup again today, because if I don't make it, there won't be any soup.
Yeah.
And that can get old really fast. And then especially if you're having to do that and an employee shows up late, so you have to, I don't know, write them up or something, and then someone else calls in sick, and then you have to go do payroll after that, and it's like, oh my gosh, and then I'm going to start all over making soup again tomorrow morning.
Which just reminded me that when the day that we were in labor with Rex, we had like 2 employees call in sick that morning, and I had to come in and make soup.
Yeah, so you were officially like, yeah, tell us about that. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. So yeah, that like in the middle of the night, like 4 a.m., my water broke, and I like woke Joseph up, and I was like, I think my water's breaking. And he's like, are you sure? And then like 5 minutes later, like, yeah, we're pretty sure.
I mean, it's pretty apparent if it's like a sudden.
it was like the movies. It was
like
crazy.
the movies.
But then, so we like went back to bed, tried to get some sleep, and then that morning got some messages that some people called in sick.
Unlike the movies, typically in the movies when there's that sudden of a water, they're like,
rushed
oh,
to the
put
hospital.
me in an ambulance, I gotta, and they give birth on the way to the hospital. But you know, your water breaks, but also you would be having contractions. Like there's other things that are going on
the
that
contractions
indicate
were like pretty far apart.
Right.
And
They were not indicative of her pushing a baby out within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, they were short. They were really far apart. They weren't too crazy, and so I knew it was going to be a while, and I wanted to do something to keep myself busy. If I was going to be at home, I probably would have like, I don't know. A lot of people recommended making bread.
Sitting at home. It would have been this sitting at home or at the hospital.
I would have
or
been
making
like,
bread or
I
something.
would have been like cleaning the house or making bread or trying to keep busy until it was time to go to the hospital. So it actually was really helpful that we had employees call in, and then I was like, oh good, that'll give me something to do. But yeah, it was just funny to be here making soup on the day that I was in labor. And I didn't want to like tell anyone that I was in labor, because I didn't want to be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? Get out.
What are you doing on your feet making soup?
Yeah. So I didn't tell anyone, but we had some employees like, oh, when are you due again? Like, in 2 weeks.
Pretty soon.
Right now. But yeah.
So yeah, you finished making the soups.
Made the soups.
I think we worked like until noon.
You had
almost or
we
something.
got some employees that could come in at noon.
Yeah.
And so we stayed here till about noon, and I kind of just.
And then we did go home and clean a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we went home and
because your contractions still. We called the hospital, our doctor who we'd been working with, and we called your sister who was the doula.
Yeah.
And they both were like, yeah, if your contractions are that far apart, like you do need to get to the hospital at some point today, because you know you are in labor technically.
Yeah.
However, you can sit at home or you can sit at the hospital. So wherever you are more comfortable, and that's really what the doula was very helpful with, and the doctor was very helpful with, was just kind of laying it out really plain, like where are you going to be the most comfortable, and that's what you should do. Like if your anxiety is happier, you know, if you're happier at the hospital, go to the hospital. If you're happier at home, stay home for a little while.
But then they did say, like, since your water did break, you should come to the hospital within like the next 2 hours. Yeah. So we went home and cleaned, packed, and then went to the hospital and had a great rest of the day.
Just a and it was Labor Day weekend.
It was,
even.
Yeah,
so.
Labor Day weekend.
Yep. What a time to go into labor.
But yeah, so yeah, that was funny. Talking about employees calling out sick. It's just like, what a day to call out sick.
Yeah.
when your boss is in labor.
The life of a business owner.
Yeah.
Put that birthing on the back burner for a second,
Yeah,
because we
that
got to
can
have the
wait.
soup on the front burners.
The customers need soup.
It is a lot of fun though.
Mhm.
And we have some really cool stuff going on out at the new location. They got the signs up on the building.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
got,
signs.
I think they
paint.
started painting the inside of the building, and Jim was just talking to me, or both of us, about an hour ago, telling us that he's scheduling with the interior designer, I think, for this last week of December
Yeah.
to get the furniture,
Furniture.
we've got like a finishing crew that's going to come through and assemble all the furniture and make everything look shiny and sparkly and neat.
Mhm.
And I think that's scheduled for the last week of December. So we're coming down to the final things that need to be done in order
Yeah.
to get this location out in South Jordan opened up. And then we'll have 2 locations that are people are gonna call in sick, and it won't matter
Yeah.
what state we're in. We'll have to go make soup.
No, it'll be good. I feel like we're pretty well set up for it. I feel pretty confident
Yeah, it's
that we
it's
won't have to
gonna
be 2
be
places at once.
it's gonna be so much fun. And I think we are fortunate that we've got me, we've got Jennah, and we've also got my parents.
Mhm.
All is a nice put together clock, just working together. But when you have 2 locations, having 4 of us, I think, will make it a lot easier, because if
Yeah.
there is an emergency that comes up, we can spread that out amongst the 4 of us instead of just one person being in charge, or just 2 people even.
Yeah. And we've got some like really, really awesome employees here at the Bountiful location that keep things running smoothly, and they care a lot about their work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Shout out to our employees. You guys are the best.
Yep.
It's like, I feel like maybe they feel otherwise, but I feel like I'm just paying them to be my friend.
Yeah.
Like less
a
of
little
an
bit of that.
employee, just like, hey, I'll pay you hourly if you'll be my friend.
Yeah.
Like our employees are my best friends for sure.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
They're great. All right. Well, I think that is it. We actually have to get Rex to a doctor's appointment. He's got his
15-month.
15-month doctor's appointment today.
Yep.
So,
getting
and
big.
nobody has called out sick on the soup making. So we're in the clear.
Yeah.
We'll end the podcast here and get Rex to his appointment so that he can be nice and healthy. So thanks for doing the podcast with me today, Jennah, and
Thanks.
we'll catch you guys next time on the Cutler Cookie Co podcast. And don't forget, our podcast listeners, you can get 15% off, I believe, with code CookiePod if you want to ship cookies anywhere in the United States. We ship cookies by the dozen. They are express delivery. It's like 2-day delivery, and you get, I think it's 15% off with code CookiePod. So make sure to check that out.